Hello everyone and welcome back to Salt and Sanctuary. If you are new to this channel and this series, I'd like to say welcome and thank you for spending your time here. Hopefully you'll enjoy what you're seeing, and if you are someone who's been around for quite a bit, let's get back to business. If you notice, we're not using our Buster Sword anymore. Instead, what I did is I transmuted my Buster Sword, or should I say the Shrouded Bulwark, and we created this Chitin Obelisk. And for anyone who's been paying attention to the monsters we've been killing, those Minotaur-like men who have the multiple legs like crabs, should I say, and carry the big black great sword. This is actually their weapon. They're called Chitins, and the Chitin Obelisk is the sword that they use to attack. It's quite cool. So when I was looking at transmutation options, I saw that you could actually transmute the Shrouded Bulwark to a Chitin Obelisk, and I was like, the Buster Sword was a boss weapon, and now you can upgrade a boss weapon to a not so boss weapon, but it does more damage and it has better scaling. So I guess it's a little risk we will have to take for now. Picked up some armor there, really nice looking armor set if I can get to it. I saw a Kesa, beautiful dyed tunic of a warrior pilgrim. Monks exist in most major faiths, but this particular light armor is a class 0, so I'm assuming it could be a starting set. I don't know. I never saw a class wearing that particular armor set, so I don't know. Level 46, getting close to that level 50 mark. Still no magic, no wisdom points. I don't know. I feel that this build overall is good, but in terms of the weapons I'm using, maybe I'm not using them effectively. I feel that I should be more damaging than I am right now. But I'm one-shotting most of the normal creatures though. That's the problem. Is that with some of the creatures of the stages, some of them, I'm doing good damage. But then there are just some bosses, and the boss of this particular stage will be testimony of this, is that I just feel like my damage is actually shit. It's really bad. So I don't know, anyone who has any experience with this game can please educate me as to what exactly I'm doing wrong with this build. As to be honest with you, I want to be effective as much as possible. But here's another portal gate that we can't get through. Is it a barrier? We found one in Hagar's cavern after talking to that one particular warrior NPC, and he was talking about how most of these locations that we visited are actually from different locations of the world, but they're all here together in this one area. So he's theorized that there could be some magic, some teleportation, or some mad architect who's creating replicas of most of these renowned places that are known throughout the world. File of Undersight. A potion of Undersight, the ability to see that which lurks in a dimension too ethereal to be perceived by mortal vision. A key item for the stage, and you'll see why soon enough. First mimic of the game. I love the design of that mimic. I really do. It's one of those Dark Souls has the more comic relief style mimic design, but that one was actually terrifying. Chest with teeth comes out as a big blob or slob. I don't know what you wanna call it, but that's actually a really cool design. Pick up an amber idol. That's gonna allow us to craft something. Hopefully we'll be able to craft a decent one-handed weapon with that. Depends on what weapons we have though. But for now, let's step on some salt that we can level up. Contemplating as to whether maybe light weapons was the route I should have taken in the beginning. Playing around with daggers and katanas. Maybe even some polearms. I took that particular level of polearms because we do have some polearms, but they're level 1s. We could benefit from trying out some level 2 polearms for one-handed weapon options. And also that level of polearm, that polearm fighter class 2 comes with 2, I believe that was 2 free points of dexterity, not just 1, for the cost of 1 black pearl. So in that regard, it's value in the sense that we got 2 dexterity for 1 point. And we encounter our first invisible enemies, Whisperman's Ashes. That's where the File of Undersight will come into play. As you can see, the green aura kind of shows you that you are under the thing's effects. But then the invisible people, you'll see them soon. Flintlock shot, flintlock pistol. Well, I actually picked up a flintlock pistol, but I didn't realize that I picked it up. I wasn't paying attention. These are the invisible people, ghosts that haunt the castle. Question is, could they have been the civilians of the castle that were killed by these monsters? Could be part of royalty, noblemen, noblewomen, children. Not too sure. Not taking chances with chests anymore. Get the scorpion armor set. Let's see what it says. Heavy padded plate armor of the Desert Sentry, Royal Guard of Kilkas. The scorpions. But definitely, one-handed weapons a requirement. I need to fast roll and I need to use my buckler. I need to parry. I need a one-handed weapon so that at least I'll have less of a burden on my equip load and faster hitting attacks. Those are necessary to apply weapon buffs and to apply poison. I need that. But the problem is merchants. Silk jacket favored by merchants for cultivating a respectable image. The problem is that most of the fast hitting weapons that I've seen that interest me, maybe like the katana, are all dexterity weapons. They have no strength scaling whatsoever. Any other mixture weapons, maybe quality build weapons that I've seen so far have been spears and poleaxes and warhammers. That's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something with a blade. I need slashing attack and thrust, just like the great swords I've been using. When you do their strong attacks, those are thrusting attacks, and you have the slash as well. Get the best of both worlds. But then with the hammers that we've seen, it's only bludgeoning damage. With the polearms, it's only thrusting. It's only one type of damage usually, but not always. But we continue going further. Almost died there. The ghosts. Probably need to read the bestiary of those guys at some point. Golden stone ring in the free sanctuary. Increase your defense to lightning damage. Topaz ring. Interesting, interesting. Now that I'm watching what I've been doing, I do realize that there was still a place upwards there that I needed to go to. But you're just gonna have to watch me die for a second there. Bronze Axe Knights, that's what they're called. Watch me try to get my revenge on this Bronze Axe Knight. Step on his head. Oh yeah. File of Undersight, Whisperman's Ashes. And the first boss of this particular castle segment is the Untouched Inquisitor. I'm assuming he's untouched as in nobody has ever defeated him. But we're doing really good damage to him though. Seems to be very weak to lightning, and he has no hitbox underneath them, so we can really take advantage of that. I think that's the first time defeating a boss without being touched on the during the fight at all. A very good, very good performance. Crystal Sphere. There's quite a bit of exploring I would like to do later on in this level that I didn't do in this particular episode. And part of it involves me not replaying, but going back to the beginning of the stage and redoing it. Because I just remembered the fact that I dropped from up there and I just continued on as if I'd totally forgotten that there was a whole upper segment that I missed out just because of that drop. If you notice, actually, from Hangar's Cavern there was a place talking about how with a certain brand you can walk on clouds. I noticed up there were actually some clouds that we could potentially walk on if we had this brand. Interesting aspect of things. I didn't actually notice it. Actually, now that we're going back, I would like us to pay close attention to that particular segment as we run up this ladder once again. Those two are definitely usable. It's too explicit that there are two clouds there in stepping distance of each other, as if asking you to climb on them. Oh, now I see where this ladder takes you. I was very confused when I was playing this particular level. If this ladder takes you here, you don't even need to start the stage again to go back to the place that I dropped from. You can just jump down there and then move onwards to the right. Because I noticed that I'd been here because of this open chest. Okay, it makes sense now. Definitely worth exploring that particular section. because sadly enough, I had zero luck with this boss. I really wanted to continue this episode, but it's gonna have to be cut short because I really need to study on how exactly to defeat the third lamb. The boss, the Untouched Inquisitor, was a bait to make you believe you were doing good damage, but then this boss kind of shows you that no sir, you haven't even started. And I wasn't really sure of what to do. This was my first time seeing this boss. I didn't know where to dodge or what to do, so I was bashing my head against the boss, and then at the end I decided, I was like, you know what, let me just take my time to think, let me do commentary for the episodes, and decide on what to do from there. One thing I did notice is that the lightning is best dodged from up close, but the problem is getting up close opens yourself from close range attacks, which all have AoE. Using this Morning Star is a mistake because it has little reach, meaning that you get in the range of the AoE. And also, I tried to poison the boss, that's why I was using this Morning Star. It has a poison charm on it, the Vile Charm. It's not susceptible to poison, so definitely not a good thing. But one thing I noticed is that bolt damage, not bolt damage, but arcane damage does quite a bit to him. Even bolt to some extent was doing good damage. So either a bolt or an arcane charm would have to be it. Well, anyway, that's pretty much all the luck I had with the third lamb, but no luck at all in my regard. I'm going to remove all my armor for fast rolling. I'll see you soon.